Hey everybody, it's uh, it's me again. I wanted to make another message or another video explaining my thoughts on something that was brought up to my attention yesterday. And it's not necessarily, this person brought it up to me. Well, I mean, they did bring it up to me, but they brought up the fact that, they're very alone and they don't have a lot of people in their life that are encouraging and are, they don't have a best friend that they can be with in real life. And that certain person is probably listening to this right now and you know exactly who you are. And, it really got me thinking about when I was younger, how I didn't have anybody growing up. I didn't have any type of friends or, anybody to cling to until about the fourth grade. I didn't have a best friend. And some of you may view that as normal, but for me, I was alone a lot of the time. I didn't have anybody to talk to. And growing up, I was always a real quiet kid. And much like this person that I'm talking about, this person that, I'm not necessarily pointing fingers at, but that person out in the crowd, you know who I'm talking about. Person, who was talking to me about it yesterday. I want you to listen to this story, and I really want you to just listen to what I have to say, because I hope that this story can kind of show that you're not alone. And I know that over text, I can tell you as many times over and over and over and over and over again that I'm a real person and I care. It's difficult to feel that because we were not in person. I can't, I'm not able to be there beside you to help all the time. I never have been able to, but I'm always just one text away, one phone call away. But anyways, um, growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends. Okay, much like you, you've had your handful. I've had my handful, but I didn't have anybody to cling to until recently. You play a major part in my life at the moment, and I want you to understand that. And sure, you can take that in a corny, weird, I don't really care any type of way, but it's the truth. You've played a major part in my life at the moment. And you helped me in a dark place. Last year, around this time, I remember sitting in my room and I was thinking about how alone I really was. How I didn't have anybody to talk to. Nobody ever really wanted to communicate with me, and I felt like I was in the wrong. I felt like, I was a weirdo, and that, I was an outcast. And there was a handful of people I tried talking to. I tried talking to, a few people on Instagram, a few people on Snapchat. And then when it came to you, and I talked to you about it, you were understanding. You understood what I was talking about, and you listened to what I had to say. And I'm sure at the moment you probably thought, hey, what is this weirdo talking to me about? Like, why is he talking to me? But I want I I want you to know that you have played a major part in me growing up. And whether we've only known each other for about 3 years now, I want to say 4 years. We've known each other for about 4 years now. And up until, I want to say about last year, we didn't really, well, I mean, we talked to each other, but we didn't really talk. Uh, you know, anyways, I'm getting sidetracked, but I didn't have a lot of people to talk about or talk to. And deep down at, last year, I really started to focus on that. And I started to blame myself for all these things that were happening and all these thoughts. I didn't feel like I was good enough. I didn't feel motivated to do anything. I just remember sitting in my room every day from, I want to say March 3rd up until Christmas Day, or maybe a little bit after. I remember just crying every day. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, bull, you didn't cry every day. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but practically every day, I bawled my eyes out. As soon as I got home from school, I couldn't do it. I just remember going to my room and just crying my eyes out because, I was under so much stress, worrying about what people thought about me, wondering, you know, why didn't people want to talk to me? And I was afraid of hurting somebody. I was afraid of, saying something rude that would hurt somebody and, just snapping on people. Because I'm a bigger guy, okay? I'm a big guy. And one of my biggest fears that has always been to, like, accidentally hurt somebody. And I have a really short fuse when it comes to temper. I've been in cases where I've just snapped immediately over the smallest itty bitty thing. In other cases, I don't snap at all. But I just have a really short fuse, and I'm a big guy. And, one of the things that I was really scared of was I was going to hurt somebody. I was going to hurt somebody's feelings about saying something that I shouldn't. And I ended up doing that to somebody, and, I felt horrible. I still feel horrible for doing it. But that was last year, so I don't see why there's any point for me worrying about it anymore. But anyways, I remember I cried my eyes out every day until about Christmas, around Christmas. I want to say late December, early January. I remember I was just very depressed. Well, I'm not going to say depressed because depressed is, I don't like using that word because it makes me sound like I'm trying to get it for attention. And, not saying that everybody who uses it for attention, but I refuse to self-diagnose myself with something because, I'm not a medical professional. Sure, I was just really sad at the time, is what I would like to say. But anyways, I I felt really trapped in this box of the same loop every day. I would wake up, I would hate everything around me. I would hate the people that I was surrounded by. I would hate, waking up. I would hate going to school. I would hate talking to people. I would hate thinking. I would hate doing work. I would just hate every fiber of my being. Hated. Just hate all around the clock. And I just kept my mouth shut. I would sit there in class and I would just think about it over and over and over and over and over again. And I guess one day I was fed up. So I talked about it. I opened up to a person, which I'm not going to name. And she really helped me. She talked to me about it. She was understanding and she wanted to listen to every word that I said. And she told me, everything's going to be all right. You just got to give it time. Pray about it. And then after a while, that certain person that I talked to about it, she stopped caring. She quit. She got fed up with me doing what I was doing. And she told me to just go on. And then that's what broke it. That's what broke that bond between us, I suppose. And, I forgive her because looking back on it, it was silly. And I really was annoying. So I don't blame her for snapping on me. But after that, I just stopped opening up to her and I shut myself again. Until another person came along. This person I have been talking to for the past 4-ish years. We met because how did we meet? I forget. I think she just messaged me randomly one day and was like, "Yo," and then we started talking to each other over and over. Just kept talking to each other, and then come to find out, me and this person are practically one to one when it comes to personalities and when it comes to like interest, which really blew me away because it's a woman. That's crazy, right? But anyways, I remember sitting there and I was talking about it, and I talked to her about everything that was going through my head, even the stuff that happened between me and another person, and how she cut me off or whatever. And I talked to her about everything, and slowly over time, we built this trust between each other, and you know, it became something that I didn't even know was possible. Neither did I. Don't really thought I don't really think she knew either. I don't think either of us knew. And this is just the beginning. There's so much more stuff that I could, or not stuff, just more, so many more possibilities out there that I can reach and actually do now that I'm able to comprehend that I'm able to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Because knowing that that I'm able to achieve that if I just give it my all is beyond me, and it blows my mind still to this day. And this certain person out there in the crowd, I wanna speak to you specifically for a moment, and I'm not gonna name you because out of respect, but you have been a very important part of my life, and I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but I don't care. I don't care. You have done nothing but help me in my darkest moments. You have done nothing but be there for me. You have done nothing but show me love and compassion and caring, and caring. You actually care, knowing. I guess I was gonna say caringness, but that's not really a word, and I don't mean this in a weird way, I guess, but you just really have been a big inspiration in my life to keep going. And every time you talk to me about something that happens at you at school, or something that's going on, and you're doing stuff that I don't really agree with, it makes me sick to my stomach knowing that you're out there and I'm unable to help and really, I'm unable to really be there for you all the time. I lost my train of thought, so I don't even know what I just said, but look, what I'm going to say is I'm just going to wrap this up because this is going on 15 minutes and I've completely lost this message. So I probably won't even make this into like this is a message for somebody. This is more kind of like a log, a daily log. Log. Clang, clang, clang. But, look, you have been a great inspiration in my life, and you've been kind of one of the only things that's really kept me going, because knowing that there's somebody out there that has compassion to really care, it's something that I've never really experienced before. And I want you to know I am your friend. I am there to help you in any moment of need. I am there to be there for you, tell you everything's going to be all right. I'm there to tell you that everything you tell me about, I take to heart and I really try to help you with. Every time you go through something, I wish I was there to help. I wish I was there to be able to, just really be there. And me and you have talked about this a handful of times, but, we want to meet up in person. But, it all turns out the same thing. It's just an idea. It's just this, it's just that, you know. And we were supposed to go to G Fest together, but you know, we decided to cancel against it, and then we came up with the idea is that on my 18th or 19th birthday, I would fly over there, and I'd spend about a week over there, and I would just chill and relax, and you know, not even a week, maybe it's a couple days, I can't remember, but um, we talked about it, and it got me really excited because you know I get to meet this person that I have been talking to forever now, and you know, it's amazing. It's nice to have somebody that I can sit down and talk to, and you know, really explain my thoughts and feelings about stuff. And the fact of that you share the same interest about a lot of crap that I do, just kind of boosts that even more because you know I'm able to kind of like talk about nerdy crap to you that I can't with anybody else. And it okay, I'm going on a big mumbo jumbo here, but I want you to understand this, and I want you to understand this well. I am your friend, and I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to discard you. I'm not going to throw you away. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to be mean to you. I'm not ever going to bully you unless it's to, you know, improve your character and, you know, in a fun way. I will never hurt you. I will never do anything in my power to disrespect you. It is never my intention to go out of my way to hurt you. I'm repeating myself. I will never go out of my way to do something like that. And I'm always here to help. And I'm always here to care about what you have to say. Whether you feel like it or not, deep down, because I know the feeling. I know that feeling of like you're talking to a brick wall. I want you to know every time you talk to me about something, every time you have brought something to me and talked to me about it, and told me about it, told me about your interests, told me about what you want to do, told me all this stuff, I want you to know I have took every bit of it to heart, and I have tried my best to understand it. I have tried my best to research it. I have tried my best to be there and understand it and talk about it and try to, you know, help you in every way I can because you did it for me. So I'm going to return the favor. And another thing, I'll probably talk to you about this later if I remember, but we've got to talk about graduation because I really want to do that, but you know, that's just an idea that we've thrown out there. So, yeah. All things aside, for those who aren't that specific person in the crowd that listened to this episode, I'll leave you with this. Tell somebody that you care about, that you love them, and that you care. Because one of my biggest fears is knowing that one day I'll be disrespectful, or not necessarily disrespectful, just more of I'll say something to one of my parents or my brothers or a friend, and then the next day they're gone, and I'll never be able to talk to them again, knowing that the last thing I said to them was mean and rude. So just take some time. What I want you to do, I want you to do it right now. I want you to message. I want you to call. I want you to talk to them. Just go into the living room, go into the bedroom, tell them, hey mom, hey dad, I want you to know I love you. Tell your brothers that. Tell your sister, tell your uncle, your aunt, whoever. I don't care. Just tell them. Because it's better to make that your final words to them than something that you're going to regret. So I've got a lot of regrets, and I wish I could take a lot of that. So, good night, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it may be. Just tell them you love them. Good night, peace, love. God bless you all.